Over 50 years, half a century has passed since a human being last left their footprints in the grey dust of the moon. When the crew of Apollo 17 returned to Earth in December 1972, no one could have imagined that it would take us this long to go back. But today, history is being rewritten. NASA has officially set the stage for a mission that will take humanity deeper into space than we have ever been before. Artemis 2. Welcome back to level_QH. In today's video, we are breaking down everything, and I mean everything, you need to know about the Artemis 2 mission. Who are the history-making astronauts making this journey? What kind of monster rocket is going to get them there? What exactly will happen during their 10-day flight? And perhaps the most important question of all, why are we going back to the moon in the first place? Grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into the next giant leap for mankind. 2. What is the Artemis program? Before we talk about Artemis 2, we need to look at the big picture. What exactly is the Artemis program? In ancient Greek mythology, Artemis is the twin sister of Apollo. It's a beautifully fitting name. The Apollo program took us to the moon for the first time. Now, its twin sister, Artemis, is taking us back. But there is a massive difference this time. We aren't just going back to plant a flag, collect some rocks, and leave. This time, we are going back to stay. The program is broken down into incredibly complex phases. First, Artemis 1. We saw this back in late 2022. It was an uncrewed test flight. The rocket launched, the capsule orbited the moon, and it returned safely. This proved the technology actually works. Then, Artemis 2. This is our topic for today. The first crewed mission in over 50 years. They will fly to the moon, orbit it, and return. And finally, Artemis 3. This is the highly anticipated future mission where humans will finally touch down on the lunar surface again, specifically targeting the moon's south pole. 3. The legendary crew. To send humanity back to the moon, you need a very special kind of team. NASA has selected a crew of 4 astronauts, and this crew represents the diversity of our planet. These aren't just pilots. They are modern-day explorers. Let's meet them. First, we have Reed Wiseman, the mission commander. A decorated U.S. Navy aviator with extensive experience. He has previously spent 165 days on the International Space Station. He is the leader, responsible for every critical, split-second decision during the flight. Next is Victor Glover, the pilot. Victor is making history as the first person of color to fly on a lunar mission. He has a massive background in aviation and spaceflight. When the capsule is in its most complex phases, Victor's hands will be at the controls. Then we have Christina Koch, Mission Specialist 1. This is a monumental moment. Christina will be the first woman ever to travel to the moon. She's a brilliant electrical engineer and currently holds the record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman, spending an incredible 328 days in space. Finally, Jeremy Hansen, Mission Specialist 2. And the plot twist here? He's not American. Jeremy represents the Canadian Space Agency. Canada is a vital partner in this program, and Jeremy will be the first non-American to ever leave low Earth orbit. Imagine the pressure on these 4 individuals. They will carry the hopes of billions, looking out of a window to see the entire Earth shrinking into a tiny blue marble behind them. 4. The Beast, SLS and Orion. Now, you can't just put 4 people in any ordinary rocket and shoot them at the moon. You need an absolute beast. Enter the SLS, or the Space Launch System. The SLS is the most powerful rocket NASA has ever built. Yes, even more powerful than the legendary Saturn V from the Apollo era. At liftoff, this machine produces a staggering 8.8 million pounds of thrust. It has to generate enough raw explosive power to rip the crew away from Earth's gravity. Sitting at the very top of that controlled explosion is the Orion spacecraft. This will be the cruise home for 10 days. It contains their life support, advanced radiation shielding for deep space, and, most importantly, the heat shield. When these astronauts return to Earth, they will hit the atmosphere at nearly 25,000 miles per hour, which is around 40,000 kilometers per hour. That heat shield will have to withstand temperatures of 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 2,760 degrees Celsius. That is literally half as hot as the surface of the sun. 5. The flight path. 10 days of thrills. Let's walk through the mission, step by step. It's going to be a tense, thrilling 10-day journey. Step 1 is liftoff. Launching from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, the SLS will burn through millions of pounds of fuel in just minutes to punch through the atmosphere. Step 2 is high Earth orbit. Before heading to the Moon, the Orion capsule will orbit the Earth in a high elliptical path. Why? To test all the manual piloting systems. They need to make sure the ship handles perfectly before committing to the deep void of space. Step 3 is the translunar injection. Once everything checks out, they fire the engines one more time to break free of Earth's orbit and shoot straight toward the Moon. Step 4 is the free return trajectory. The crew will not land on this mission. Instead, they will fly around the dark side of the Moon, allowing the Moon's gravity to act like a slingshot, whipping them right back toward Earth without needing to use major engine burns. During this phase, they will be breaking records. As they fly around the far side, they will be over 4,600 miles beyond the Moon. This will officially be the furthest any human has ever traveled into space in the history of our species. Finally, splashdown. 10 days after launch, the capsule will slam into Earth's atmosphere, deploy massive parachutes, and splash down in the Pacific Ocean, where the US Navy will be waiting to recover them. 6. Why are we going back? Now, we arrive at the multi-billion-dollar question. People often ask, why are we spending so much money to go back to a place we already visited in the 1970s? Just for cool photos? The answer is no. The Moon is just the beginning. First, NASA and its international partners are building the Lunar Gateway. Think of it as an international space station, but orbiting the Moon. It will serve as a staging point for future missions. Second, water and power. Artemis 3 plans to land at the lunar South Pole because scientists know there is frozen water in the permanently shadowed craters there. Water is life, yes, but in space, water is also fuel. If you split H2O, you get hydrogen and oxygen, the exact ingredients for rocket fuel. The Moon could literally become our deep space gas station. And finally, Mars. The ultimate goal of humanity is to reach the red planet. But Mars is incredibly far away. A trip there takes months. The Moon is our training ground. We have to learn how to live in deep space, build habitats, and test our technology just 3 days away from home before we risk a multi-year journey to Mars. 7. Outro and call to action. The Artemis 2 mission is more than just a spaceflight. It is a message of hope. It shows that when humanity works together, we can achieve the absolute impossible. Our generation is going to witness the moment humans leave Earth's orbit once again. And this time, we are aiming for the stars. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about the Artemis program? Are you as hyped as the world was back in the Apollo days? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown and learned something new, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button and make sure you hit subscribe to level_QH. We cover everything from space exploration to mind-bending tech, and you won't want to miss what's next.